Sir, I'm starting the session. Good morning to all. I, Rupali Gupta, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, IIMT College of Engineering, Greater Noida. I take this opportunity to welcome you all in today's webinar series on process of innovation, development, and technology, readiness level, and commercialization of lab technologies and tech transfer. A very warm welcome of today's speaker, Mr. Baldevya sir, HOD IT, Dr. Mahin Sharma sir, Director of Engineering, Dr. S.S. Tyagi sir, IIC President, Dr. Sanjay Pachauri sir, and all the spectators. Now let me introduce today's speaker, Mr. Baldevya Mitra sir is an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science at KIT Group of Institution, Ghaziabad. He has 4 years of research exposure in artificial intelligence. He has number of research papers in reputed journals of artificial intelligence. He got Artificial Intelligence Mastery Award in 2019 by IBM. He is a strong educational professional with a demonstrated history of working in the education management industry. Now I request Dr. Sanjay Pachauri sir to please introduce the IIC cell. Sir.
Thank you, Ms. Rupali. As per today's topic, very first, I would like to congratulate, or I would like to give my thanks to spare the valuable time by Baldevya Mitra from KIC Engineering Colleges, HOD IT, Dr. Mahin Sharma. Then now I would like to focus what actually the IIC is and why it is introduced. This is IIC 4.0. This is the 4th year when we are going through the IICs. Actually, this is the program launched by Government of India. Why the requirement? Why government thought about this process? We have to launch this type of thing. Because there is a great demand to change the curriculum and to change the teaching scenario in the higher education institute. Whatsoever we are getting through our books or through the lectures in the classes, that is not sufficient, because students are having the theoretical knowledge, but they are not implementing the particular theoretical knowledge into the practical ones as a product or as a project or as something which is sellable. Because projects are there within the campus only, they are not going out of the boundaries of the campus. This is not the scenario of the private engineering colleges even. This is the scenario which is there in IITs even. That's why government thought our students should not be the job seekers, they should be the job providers. So they implemented this thing and they are giving a great focus to make our students as an entrepreneur. So, and the change is reflecting over there. We are getting the change. We are getting this as an output from each and every college, not from the IITs or NITs, even from the private colleges even. A very great number of students now they are going to the startups and they are willing to do the business. They are willing to start a company and find out the exposure how to become a successful entrepreneur. This is actually the motto behind the IIC, which is going on a very right track, I think so. So I would like to conclude my words by these 2 lines only. Thank you, Ms. Rupali, and thanks a lot to Dr. Mahin Sharma. And waiting for Balvidya Mishra, please. Rupali Gupta, ma'am, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your kind words. Now I request Baldevya sir to please start the session without delaying it further. Sir.
Okay, a very good morning to all. So thank you so much for such a warm welcome. Okay, so
Thanks.
uh, as there are, I think, various students have been joined the meeting, so it will be a very great to have talk with all of them. So let's first understand the innovation, okay, and then about the process of innovation, and then how we can commercialize the technologies from your labs to the marketplace. Okay, so today we'll be discussing about these things. Okay, so I'll be start this session by having a quote that is, innovation happens when people are free to think, experiment, and speculate. Okay, so it happens when people can trade with each other. It happens where people are relatively prosperous. Okay, so first of all, you must have a clear understanding what is the innovation. Okay, so innovation must be clear to you. Okay, so innovation refers to the introduction of new quality of good, okay, or new good, or market, or methods of production. Okay, so sources of supply, okay, and organization in the industry. The most promising thing about the innovation process is being able to actuate an idea into a successful concept. Okay, so as there are many students, they are working on various technologies, like it might is there only a specific branch of a students are all over students are present here?
Sir, IT branch students are there.
Okay, okay, only IT branch. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Only
so
IT.
like IT branch students might have learned about some machine learning techniques. Okay, so there are various technologies in computer science and information technology. Okay, so which are very trending in the and demanding in the current scenario. Okay, like we discuss about the blockchain, we discuss about the AWS. Okay, then we have artificial intelligence, machine learning. Okay, and various cyber security. So there are various type of services and technologies which are going on in the current era. Okay, so you must be clear about the innovation. So as I told you that, so the innovation refers to the introduction of a new quality or a good. Okay, or you can say that you are going to change or make a change in some existing mechanism. Okay, so let's say a person is working to manufacture a car. Okay, so first various labors were there who were working on daily basis to prepare their various parts of the cars. But nowadays what is happening that there are various types of artificial arms, okay, which are working to manufacture all these kind of all various parts of a car. Okay, so what you have to do is to make an innovation. You must be having some good idea. Okay, you must be having some good idea, you must have some creativity. Okay, to think beyond the concepts. Okay, so for an example, you can consider the Tesla's car, which is an autonomous vehicle. Okay, so there are no need of any driver, which is not driven by any human. Okay, so it automatically drives from one source to destination. Okay, so it requires various kind of technologies to run behind this. Okay, like lane identification. Okay, obstacle detection. So there are various kind of technologies which are working behind this, like artificial intelligence, computer vision. Okay, so by making use of these technologies, you have to make such a good idea. Okay, which you can transform that into a particular platform, into a particular technology. Okay, which can be helping humans to make their work very easier. Okay, so let us have some steps about these innovation. Okay, so before going to that, we are having some importance about the innovation. So why we need this innovation? Okay, what is the advantage and importance of the innovation? So there are certain circumstances. Okay, so for example, solving the problem. Okay, so let us consider you have a if your business provides some kind of services. Okay, so you might realize that your customers do not have an avenue to share their opinions, complaints, and compliances. Okay, so to solve the problems, you could decide to operate a virtual office where customers need can be attended to within a short time. Okay, so the customer will be happy. As a result, your sales will go higher. Okay, so another circumstances, you can see that adapting to change. Okay, so change is inevitable and innovative. Okay, innovation is a method to not only keep your business afloat but also ensure that it remains relevant and profitable. Okay, so when you develop an innovation culture, you remain relevant at all the times. Okay, another perspective can be your maximization of the maximizing the globalization. Okay, so like in current scenario, so markets all over the world becoming more interlinked, and greater opportunities are emerging in these new markets. Okay, so for instance, if your company or your university hopes to tap into this market share, so innovation is a must to enable you to capitalize on the opportunities opening. Okay, so as you can see that here I have placed one image of this Apple's different phones. Okay, so like from 2004 to now 2012, so there are various versions of the iPhone has been evolved. Okay, so they are happening just because of some kind of innovation. So they are enhancing their techniques. Okay, so like connectivity, like from 2G to 3G, then 4G. Okay, then their appearance, or like their UI and their physical specifications. Okay, their sound quality, their technical specifications. So they have they all things are evolved now. Okay, so in this scenario, so let us the next one, that facing up the competition, it might be possible that you want to compete with others. Okay, so to retain or reestablish your company's cutting edge, you can complete strategically by having a dynamic business that can make strategic and innovative moves. Okay, and thus cut above the rest. Okay, so one other could be your evolving workplace dynamics. Okay, so the demographics in the workplace are constantly changing. Okay, so innovation in therefore critical to ensure the smooth running of the company. Okay, so customers changing taste and preferences, the current customers has a great variety of products and services available to him. Okay, hence the company must keep itself abreast of all other these evolving tastes. Okay, and also force new ways of the satisfying customers. Okay, so now discussing about the process of innovation development. So there are 5 stages of the innovation development. Okay, so the first one is your idea generation and the mobilization. Okay, the second one is your advocacy and screening, then we are having the experimentation, and then diffusion and implementation, and commercialization. So we'll be discussing about each individual stages. Okay, so now first we'll go by one. Okay, so before proceeding to these step, you can think that how these ideas come from. Okay, so one could be that your mind mapping. Okay, so a traditional mind map is one of many fantastic idea generation techniques. Okay, so it is a way to lay out of critical information surrounding your information. Okay, another could be like uh, collaborative innovation. Okay, so no two people ever look at the same problem in the exactly the same way. Okay, so thanks to our different backgrounds, like knowledge bases, skills, okay, and experiences, so that's why collaboration is so essential when it comes to generating the ideas. Okay, so like you are various students are here. Okay, so you might be discussing about some kind of vehicle, some kind of other and another techniques, any social issues. Okay, so by thought sharing process, you can get ideas from your other colleagues as well. Okay, so that could also be a collaborate to generate a new idea. Okay, so another could be your like blue sky thinking. Okay, so if there were absolute no limit, like no judgments and no consequences. Okay, so where you could imagine take off okay, so for an example, sky has no limit. Okay, so if you think beyond a limit, that this could be happen. Okay, beyond the limit, then that could also generate a new kind of ideas. Okay, so now moving on these 5 phases of the innovation process. So the first one is your idea generation and mobilization. Okay, so new ideas are in the very first stage, new ideas are created during idea generation. Okay, and successful idea generation should involve the pressure to complete, the freedom to explore. Okay, so mobilization occurs when the idea is moved to a different logical or physical location. Okay, for instance, how Apple waited 3 years after MP3 players were introduced to create the iPod. Okay, which was attractive. Okay, and offered a capacity of around 1,000 songs. Okay, so that was a kind of mobilization. Okay, So in the second stage, you are having the concept of advocacy and screening. So once you have formed your idea, so the another thing is you must go by some kind of examination, okay, about the, you can say, the feasibility of your idea, okay. So that is another stage, that is your advocacy and screening, okay. So advocacy and screening help to evaluate the feasibility of your business idea, okay, with the potential problem and benefits. So hence a decision can be made about an idea's future, okay. So companies looking to develop a culture can establish a few best practices, okay. So for example, employees should have plenty of MNUs, okay, to receive advocacy and feedback. Also, organizations or your university must understand the difficulties involved in the evaluating truly innovative ideas. So like in your organization, so as sir in the beginning of this session, sir introduced about this cell which is working behind this workshop. Then you must have some experts under which you under their invigilation you will be crafting your ideas into a final product, okay. So before that, you must present your ideas in front of their your supervisors, okay, to understand the feasibility of your ideas, whether how much percent they are feasible, okay, how will be their how much they will be successful after implementation, okay. So that's why this phase comes, that is your advocacy and the screening, okay. Then further we are having the experimentation. So once your guide or your supervisor or any other expert has been verified that your idea is innovative and it will be very feasible to launch in the market, okay. So then the next process is to experiment your idea, okay. So the experimentation is test the sustainability of idea, okay, for an organization at the specific time, okay. So experimentation generates new ideas with the information that is gathered on the result and feasibility of the original idea, okay. For example, if we say, so when Amazon tested its grocery delivery system service in certain settle survey then after this, Amazon Fresh expanded the Los Angeles, San Diego, and New York City. Okay, so like I'm giving this example like Amazon's grocery delivery system. Okay, so first you must be trying, you must be experimenting your ideas. Okay, for a in a particular time for a small, or you can say localized area, or wherever you want to commercialize it. Okay, then after the successful experimentation, you can increase the limit of your production for the commercialization purpose. Okay, then the further comes your diffusion and implementation. Okay, so while discussing about the diffusion and implementation, so diffusion is the company's wide acceptance of an innovative idea. Okay, and implementation sets up everything needed to develop the innovation. Okay, so diffusion and implementation allow the organization to determine the next set of needs for customers. Okay, so like receiving feedbacks, indicators for success metrics and other benchmarks enables the organization to stimulate the innovation process. Okay, and thereafter, uh, after these steps, you have to commercialize your product. Okay, so for that particular purpose, commercialization develops market value for an idea, whatever idea you have been generated so far. Okay, so commercialization develops market value for an idea by focusing on its impact. Okay, so an impact important part is establishing the specifications of any given idea. You can also say that commercialization is the stage that involves the change of focus, developments to persuasions. After the idea is clarified and the business is planned, is developed, okay, it will be ready for the diffusion and implementation. Okay, so now further we are having this technology readiness labels. Okay, so first of all you must understand what is this technology readiness. Okay, so technology readiness labels are methods of estimating the technology maturity by critical technology elements. Okay, of program during the acquisition process. Okay, so they are determined during a technology readiness assessment, which is known as your TRA. Okay, so that examines the program concept, technology requirements, and demonstrates technology capabilities. Okay, so in this continuation, we are having some 9 steps in this technology readiness program. So one is your basic principles observed. Okay, then technology concept formulation, then experimental proof of concept, then technology validated in lab. Okay, then technology validated in relevant environment. Okay, then technology demonstrated in relevant environment, then system prototype demonstration in operational environment, then we are having this system complete and qualified. Okay, then at the final stage we are having the actual system proven in operational environment. Okay, so you will be understanding these one by one. Okay, so so as the first one, the basic principles observed and the reported. Okay, so lowest level of technology readiness, scientific research begins to be translated into applied research and development. Okay, so examples might include paper studies of a technology's basic properties. Okay, then there further in the second level we are having this technology concept or application formulation. Okay, then invention begins once basic principles are observed. Okay, and practical applications can be invented. Okay, applications are speculated and they may be no proof or details analysis to support the assumptions. For example, like examples are limited to analytic studies. Okay, means there are some kind of analytical studies are present. Okay, then further at the third level, that is your experimental proof of concept. Okay, so active research and development is initiated in this phase. Okay, so this includes analytical studies and laboratory studies. Okay, to physically validate analytical predictions of separate elements of the technology. Okay, so examples include components that are not yet integrated or representative. Okay, then in the further level we are having this technology validated in the lab. Okay, so once once the analytical analysis has been done. Okay, then what we will have to do is that component and you can say breadboard validation in the laboratory environment. So basic technology components are integrated to establish that they will work together. Okay, so this is a relatively low fidelity compared to the eventual systems. So examples include the integration of an ad hoc hardware in the laboratory. Okay, then thereafter we are having this that technology validated in a relevant environment. Okay, so the fidelity of a breadboard technology increases significantly. The basic technological components are integrated with reasonably realistic supporting elements, so it can be tested in a simulated environment. Okay, then further we are having this technology demonstrated in a relevant environment. Okay, so a representative model, or you can say that a prototype system, okay, which is well beyond the layer 5, okay, is tested in the relevant environment. Okay, represents a major step up in the technology's demonstrated readiness. Okay, then thereafter in the level 7 we are having this system prototype demonstration in an operational environment. Okay, so prototype near or at a planned operational system. Okay, so it represents a major step up of TRL 6, okay, which we discussed in the last level. Okay, requiring the demonstration of an actual system prototype in an operational environment such as aircraft, or you can say an example like vehicle or space. Okay, then thereafter we are having this actual system completed and qualified through test and demonstration. Okay, so here technologies has been proven to work in its final form and under expected conditions. So as we discussed in the operational environment, relevant environment. Okay, so now here, so technologies has been proven to work in its final form. Okay, and under expected conditions. Okay, in almost all cases the TRL represents the end of true system development. So examples include development test and evaluation of the system in its extended weapon systems. Okay, so to determine if it meets design specifications. Okay, and And at the final, that is your ninth, actual system proven in the operational condition. Okay, so in this stage, the actual application of the technology in its final form and under mission conditions such as those encountered in operational test and evaluations. Okay, so for example, so examples including using the system under operational mission conditions. Okay, so these are 9 levels of your TRL, okay, which is used for the measurement of the maturity of technology components for a system. Okay, so these levels are known as your scales of this TRL. Okay, so now further in this continuation, we are having technology transfer process. Okay, from means your laboratory to the marketplace. Okay, so at the very first, an innovation idea can be in the form of a research patent, okay, or you can say some kind of product, okay, that, or you can say that simply change in the process. Okay, so as we discussed in earlier, okay, so it could be either a change in the process or the development of a new product, okay, for the commercialization. So it might be possible that there could be some kind of research present. Okay, so here with beginning with the innovation. Okay, so observations and experiments during your research activities often lead to invention. Okay, so before sharing the result of any research or publishing it is very important to ask the technology transfer office, which might be present in your university. Okay, whether the document or disclosure contains any innovation or discovery could be patent. Okay, it might be possible that whatever you are going to invent, that it might be possible that there are some possibilities to get it patented. Okay, if there is some kind of innovative idea is capable of. Okay, then your you can say that technology transfer office, you must contact to them. Okay, then then we are having this disclosure. Okay, so inside this disclosure, the inventors contact name, inventors should contact your us contact means whatever the office is present for this for dealing with all these kind of concepts in your university, they must inventors must contact to them. Okay, for writing a pre-disclosure form. Okay, and thereafter you some kind of assessment will be there. Okay, which we are saying it as evaluation. Okay, so like in various universities also. Okay, so invention disclosure forms received by the technology transfer officer, okay, are logged and evaluated. Okay, so inventors are needed to present their ideas in front of their technology transfer offices. Okay, for getting their idea validated. Okay, and evaluated by some parameters. Okay, which are needed for the feasibility study of your for your experimentation. Okay, then protection is another thing for your ideas. Okay, so based on an assessment. Okay, your university will determine it if they have to file for the patent protection on the invention. Okay, so thereafter marketing comes. Okay, so with the inventors involvement, the technology transfer office, okay, will conduct market research and identify candidate companies that have the expertise, resources, okay, and business networking to bring the invention to the market. Okay, this will happen if you will go through this complete process. Okay, by opting this way to contact get your product commercialized by your university. Okay, other it might be possible that some students are interested to go by their own way also. Okay, then then there are the licensing. Okay, so licensing means whatever products you have built so far. Okay, that must get some licensing as well. So licensing could be of your traditional licensing or startup company. Okay, so a representative from your technology transfer office licenses the invention to a third party. Okay, if the university is successful in licensing the invention to a third party, the institution will split any income derived from the license in accordance with the patent or copyright policy. Okay, then it might be possible that you are going to make an startup company. Okay, so in that particular scenario, if someone is someone's invention is a platform technology and inventors is interested to forming a startup company, a representative from the technology transfer officer or office will explain about the policies and requirements, okay, which are necessary for licensing, okay, from your university, okay, to get grants as well and make some and get some patent as well, okay. Then thereafter after this licensing, you can go for the commercialization, okay. So the license companies continues the advancement of the technologies, okay, and make other business investment to develop the product or the services, okay. So this step may entail further development, regulatory approvals, okay. So like sales, marketing, support, training, and other activities, okay. So after commercialization, you can deploy your product on the scale where you wanted to deploy it, okay. So that's from my side. If anyone has if anyone would like to ask any questions regarding this, so you are most welcome.
That we can't see or when we start the hello. But when we see
Hello, ma'am.
yes, any students, any question? Anyone? If you have any query, no queries.
रूपाली मैम,
yes sir.
रूपाली, लेट्स कंप्लीट द सेशन. लास्ट में हम क्वेरीज ले लेंगे अगर बच्चों का रहेगा कुछ तो.
Sure, sir.
Okay, sir, please continue.
Okay. Yes, sir. So this was all about the my side. Okay. So now, if anyone is in, if any student or anyone is interested to go through more deeper about this technology in a technology readiness levels, okay, or to get their ideas for the feasibility study kind of thing, so they can further contact their technology transfer office, or they can contact me as well. So I'll be always available for them for their help, okay. So this was all about for today's, okay. So here we discussed about these things like importance of the importance of innovation, about the process of the innovation development, okay, and the TRL levels, okay. So thank you, sir. It was from my side, okay. So thank you so much for the inviting and conducting this particular session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session. And it's really wonderful that you have, on just a short notice, you have prepared everything and have tried to cover each and every topic as per our request in such a short time.
Yeah,
So
ma'am.
it's quite difficult. Still, you have prepared all the PPTs relevant to the topic.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's really grateful, and we are really thankful to you. So now let me formally end the session. I want to thank HOD IT department, IIC president, IIC president and director who spare precious time out of their busy schedule. And I also want to thank all the faculty members, students, and a special thanks to our speaker of today's session who enlightened us with his fascinating words. The session was so informative and knowledgeable, which will helpful for the students in better understanding the innovation concepts, basically. So with these warm words and a kind message, we move to the end of the today's session. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sparing your
Thank you so much,
precious
ma'am.
time.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Rupali ma'am. Thank you, Mitra sir. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, one request from you, if you can switch on your video so that we just have a one photograph together.
Sure, ma'am. I have just turned on my camera. You can have a look.
Yes, sir. And I request all the faculty members to please switch on your camera. All the faculty members, please switch on your camera. Sir, HOD sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, your camera is not visible.
My camera is on, ma'am.
Sir, you're able to see the video of Baldivya sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Yes.
able to see the video of HOD.
Sir, please click on a screenshot because it's not visible at my end.
Okay, okay. I am taking the screenshot.
Yes, sir. Sanjay sir, you also take the screenshot.
Ma'am, please download the attendance and all, na?
Yes, sir. That I will do. Sir,
Okay, thank you.
Sir, screenshot is complete.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Baldivya sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you so much, everyone, for this session. Okay.
Thank you, Rupali ma'am,
Thank you, sir.
for coordinating such a nice session. Okay, thank you very much.
Now, yes, now all the student, please log out the session and you can continue with your classes. Thank you so much.